Hi, everybody. We're working on our drafting assignments. This is a video for draft number 523C is the name of the draft. And we're going to be moving over from paper pencil to SketchUp for Schools using the CAD program. If you have not already made your border, you're going to want to go watch that video, how to make the border, so that you have it all ready to go for this assignment. And all the skills that you learned for this assignment will help you with all the rest. This is the only video. This is the last video for the rest of the assignments, and everything you learn in this assignment, the skills will be transferable into the following assignments 6 through 10 as well. So to get started, I've already got my template up here. You're going to want to, if you do not have it, you're going to want to type in a browser in the menu, edu.sketchup.com/app, and take you into your assignment. I haven't saved this yet. I need to save it real quick. And then when I do, template, I will find it where it is. It should show up here on the front. If not, you can go into your Google Drive and find your template. When you open the template up, the first thing you need to do is save as. Save as, because you don't want to be changing this template. You want to be able to go back to every drawing and be able to use this template to your advantage. So what I'm going to do is go to Save As. And then now I can save this in my drive. And we are going to name it. We go to 3C. Template 2. And this is assignment number 5. Draft 5, figure 2 through C. And then I can hit save. You can see it's got a new title. Now when I go to do number 6, I can open my template again and hit save as and go from there. Okay. Now to get started, we need to center our drawing. If you remember how to center your drawing, let's open our drawing and see it. We need to see the distance across our page, and I'll use my tape measure to go across the page from this line to this line, and I can see in the bottom right, it's 258 millimeters. I need to take that number and subtract it from the total width of my drawing, which is 170. Let's just do this. 258 minus 170 equals 88. And then I need to divide that number by 2, and it's giving me 44. So to be able to do that, of course, is very important to get our drawing in the middle. 44. Now I can take this tape measure again, and I can put a construction line in from the left, 44. And we're going to measure from this line down to this line. And I can see in the bottom, it's 186 millimeters. My height of my drawing is 115. 186 minus 115 equals 71 divided by 2, 35.5. Let's come from the top, 35.5, enter. And this is going to be the top corner right here. I'm going to put construction lines in several places here, and then I'm going to connect the dots. So my distance from this edge to here is 25. Go here to here, 25, enter. Then I need another 40, 40. Then to figure out this distance, I need to go this plus this plus this plus this then take that subtracted by what that is equal to. Okay, so just in your mind and head, right? 25 and 40 is 65. This side is also 65, 130. 70 minus 130 leaves me 40. I can go across 40. And then my next 40. And then 25. 25. Now I've got all this configured where I'm going to want to put my lines. I can see from here to here is 10. Let's go down 10 and put a construction line in there. Now I've got nothing from here to here. There's no measurement, but I'm going to have to use my other measurements to figure out what this distance is, or it might just fall into place. Look at this. From here to here is 75, and I know from here to here is 115. Let's put that 115 in to find the bottom. And then from that bottom, let's go up 75. And then now I've got where this line is going to go in there. If you ever get confused at a certain point, feel free to just put your lines in. Let's just stick our lines in, some of these lines to help you out right now. Here to here, going all the way to there, to there, to there, and connect all our spots. No, that doesn't seem right, does it? Undo. Let's go down all the way and across. And we got the top section of our drawing. I'll just hit escape and get rid of that line. Now I got to get this stuff in. If these lines are confusing you at this point, let's go off of our paper and go from right to left and just grab some of these middle lines, which we don't need. And we'll hit delete and get rid of them. I don't need that line anymore. And I don't need this line anymore. I'll keep the border outline. I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Back into our scenes and find the place. If you ever scroll and find yourself not where you need to be, just go back into your scenes and select that middle scene to get us back into a flat 2D mode. Next, we got to find these triangles and where they're going to go into our drawing. The easiest thing to think about is to find each of these points where they need to be, just like we found these points. Let's grab our tape measure. We'll move over 22, then over 17, and over another 17. Move over 22, move over a 17, move over another 17. Let's move up 30. All right. What do you notice about the right side compared to the left? The right side is different from the left side. A lot of students will do this and they'll miss this and they will just copy what they did on the right and the left, but it is not a mirror image on one side to the other. Let's go from the right side in 18. And then we're over 22. I missed grabbing my line. There we go, 22. Make sure you're right over top, grab another 22. And don't be fooled and use this line. That line's 30 up. We need to go up 22 on this side. That's very important. Otherwise, it's not going to be correct. Now I can just connect all my dots. This one's going up to the 30 line, down to there, over to here, to the 22 line, there, and there. Okay, now we have our shape, and what's left is our middle object. Let's go ahead and get rid of these outside lines, these lines. We'll leave our bottom line because we're going to need that to go up and find the middle. Actually, we can get rid of it all. we'll get rid of it all because we can use the line, solid line that's already there to get us where we need to be. Let's put in our last few construction lines. Here to here will be 85. This is our first step, is to find the center of our object so that we can go from there and make this center shape 85 over, here to here, 85, type it in, bottom to the middle, 58, type it in, 58. Here's our center, and now off of that center, here to here is 17. There's no dimension on this side. This is a mirrored shape, right side to left side. It's going to be 17 from there this way as well. From the bottom to the middle is 15. And we got another 15. And then from the center to the outside is 8.5. Let's put those in. 8.5. 8.5. Okay. Connect the dots. There we are. There's our shape. And let's get rid of these. All right. The last thing we're going to do is put in these appropriate dimensions. Go into where your tape measure is, and the second from the top is dimensions. Now, I took out my center line, and that might run me into some issues here. So I'm going to have to put that back in. Tape measure, 85 in. Because if you were to replicate this, you are going to need, there we go, something to go off of. This one would be okay to find that center point, but we have it in there now anyways. Let's go ahead and copy the dimensions. Here to here, 17. You notice that it started at 23, right? Because from there to there is 23, but now that it's understanding where these go, that I'm going from this spot to this spot, now it's recognized that it's 17. So let's put that in. We can put in a 58 from here to, that's not what I want, from the bottom to here, 58. Now where you put these exactly is up to you. I'll let you finish these on your own without having to show you all these different ones. There's a couple rules. You want them to be neat when possible, like this, where they go across, line them up. You also only put in measurements that are required. Therefore, that's why there's no extra number in here, because that would just be extra information if we have the total width up here already. This information is not required in order for you to know what that distance actually is. We figured it out without having that distance in there. And that's in there to, or not in there, sorry, so that you are not crowding out your drawings with all kinds of dimensions. When you put these in, you can copy exactly what's here. You can figure out a nicer and neater way to put it in there. However you want to put them in, but you need every dimension that's in here, and you need to put them in such a way that they are all going to be neat. The last thing that you're going to notice is when you do this dimension, it is hard to read, but also, if we were to zoom in with our correct key, you can see it's actually 9 millimeters because it's rounding up to the nearest millimeter, which is fine. If yours says 9, that's okay. Let's hit the scene button and we'll get back to where we want to be. And let's go here and zoom our constraints. The last thing you want to do before you turn this in, zoom to constraints. Just double check that you have picked that middle scene and everything is exactly flat and nice how you want it. when you hit the save button, you can go into your assignment and you can attach this file that will be in your Google Drive into your assignment, and then you can turn it in. We'll take a look at it and you'll get your score from there. If you have any questions about what to do, make sure you come find me and talk to me, and I'll help you through some of these things. Maybe there's something I rushed through and it seems difficult, but do your best with it. And again, the last thing is that this is the last video, but there are more assignments. But all the things that you learned in this assignment, you should be able to transfer those skills into some of these other assignments. The only thing we haven't talked about, and you should look at right now, is there might be a time where you need to actually find a certain angle and see what it is. And you can do that through this rotate tool, where if you want to turn one of these lines, you can turn it to a certain degree, just like it says on some of these drawings. So for example, if I wanted to turn this center line, this construction line, and turn it onto a 45-degree angle, I can use my cursor, select it, pick the rotate tool, pick the point that you want your line to rotate around and click on it. Then pick another spot on that line where you're going to grab it to rotate it, click. Now you can rotate that line. You can see in the bottom right box, it's giving me some angles. If I want it to be on a 45-degree angle, type it in. I suggest you type it in instead of just moving it to where it needs to be. 45, enter. And now this line from here is now 45 degrees. So this from where this line was down to here is now on a 45-degree angle. And some of these future drawings, such as this one perhaps, you're going to need to just put in those construction lines for that, right? Construction lines for this, and trace it out just like you did on this one, right? These future ones look more complicated. They are more complicated, but as you go through each one, you'll be building the skills and figuring it out. And 7 might look overwhelming, but once you've done 5, you'll be able to do 6. And then 7 will fall into place. And then these other ones as well, you'll be able to draft and draw. All right, best of luck on these assignments. And again, if you need help, make sure you let me